Chris, what is our first main topic today?
This is from Rho Alpha Tau. Hey, John and crew. It is now being reported by Variety that a new Eragon series is in the works with Bert Salke as executive producer. What are your thoughts now that this reboot seems to be happening? Do you think Rings of Power and House of the Dragon had anything to do with it? It's a great time for fantasy nerds. Let us know your thoughts.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, listen, very popular book series. The Eragon series came out, and it was so popular, they decided to make a movie out of it. They got the great Jeremy Irons to be in that movie. Actually, I'm trying to think of who, I almost said Chiwetel Ejiofor, not Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's the wizard in Shazam. Djimon Hounsou, thank you. I think Djimon Hounsou was in it too, wasn't it? Or I might be thinking of a different film. Anyway, it's a very forgettable movie because it was terrible. Yes. The Eragon movie was absolutely awful. And it's a great example of they planned to do the sequel because of the end with John Malkovich with his dragon. So clearly they're getting ready to do a sequel. The plan was to do the trilogy, but as Mike Tyson gloriously said, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. And Eragon punched itself in the mouth. It was a terrible movie, and it killed it and all that kind of stuff. Questions have come up on the show over the years asking, do you think they can go back and do Eragon again? And I've always said, I have my doubts because the stench of the failure of that movie lingers and it endures like the spirit of Sauron itself. That the stench of that first movie endures. So I said, I have my doubts. And yet I wasn't so totally surprised when I read this story yesterday that Disney Plus has decided they're going to take a shot at it as a series because you know what? In the age of streaming, maybe that gives you the opportunity to take another shot at it. This comes to us from the folks over at Variety who wrote the following. An Eragon live-action TV series, and it is in early development at Disney Plus, Variety has learned exclusively from sources. The series will be based on the Christopher Poloni young adult novel series, The Inheritance Cycle, with Eragon being the first of the 4 books in that series. According to sources, Poloni will serve as the co-writer of the series. Now, I'm sure that's going to be very pleasing to hear for a lot of the fans of the original book, that the original writer is going to be in there. Now, in the first Eragon movie, you have a young Luke Skywalker who finds a mentor in an Obi-Wan Kenobi to go on and take on the evil Empire. And, I'm sorry, that's a totally different movie, but it was basically the same thing.
It's Star Wars with Dragons.
And I've been told, I never read the book, but I've been told in the book does not feel like a beat-for-beat Star Wars lift. I've been told that the book does not feel like that at all. But for some reason, when they did the movie, which is the only thing I was exposed to, it felt like a very much a beat-for-beat Star Wars retelling. But again, I've never read the book, but I've heard the book does not play that way. So, I mean, I think this is a good thing, even though, like I said, the stench of that first movie endures. But if they can give it a new life in a different, screen, in the small screen with Disney Plus, and they can try to give it a new life. This was a popular book series, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very, very happy about this. Anyway, Rob, you hear about this. What are your thoughts?
Well, I thought that the movie was lacking, and I was interested in it because the Eragon books were written by a very young guy. Like, I want to say he was like 18 or something when he published the first book, something like that. So I was rooting for him. He had a lot of meteoric success with that series, and more power to him. I'd like to see more young people write books that get published. Very cool. But that movie was just, can you imagine, you write your book series, it becomes successful, you get your dream to have a movie made, and then it turns out to be
that
shite. So I kind of like the fact that it's kind of like the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, the original movie and then they made the TV series.
Right.
And the TV series was another
I literally had a conversation with somebody who was like 19 years old, and I mentioned the Buffy the Vampire movie, and they said they made a movie out of it?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, like there was a movie before the show. You're lying. No, there really was. Like a lot of people don't even know that now.
Yeah.
It's a great example.
Yeah, and so then they made the TV series completely overshadowed the movie, and rightfully so. And I think that's kind of, I would at least hope. It's John, these fantasy shows, back when Hercules and Xena were getting made, when they would have like dragons or monsters, they were not exactly the most convincing. But now it's amazing to me that they're green lighting these fantasy shows where dragons like are main characters. We've come so far technologically. It's kind of cool to see a lot of these fantasy projects. I mean, even science fiction shows like Foundation, the effects technology that they're bringing to bear on these things is amazing. So hopefully the show will be good.
By the way, the person who wrote in the question asked, do I think that the Lord of the Rings series, the Game of Thrones thing, if that has anything to do with it. I think that has everything to do with it. I really do. I think Disney Plus is saying, okay, this now fantasy genre stuff is really, really hot. If we're going to try to take another shot at Eragon, this is the time to do it. So I think it has everything to do with it. Anyway, Chris, you hear about this. What do you think?
I'm so excited. We love a redemption story, right?
That's true.
Because that 2006 film should have been good, and it was so upsetting that it wasn't. You had this stacked cast of Jeremy Irons and John Malkovich and Rachel Weisz.
I forgot she was in it.
Where did this go wrong? And so it kind of makes me think of, not only Buffy, but then, Avatar getting, it had that horrible live action film from M. Night Shyamalan. And now we're doing the series that hopefully will get that taste out of everyone's mouth. I'm really hoping that's the case here because fantasy literature, I think, is so adaptable. We've seen it work. We've seen people buy fully into dragons and magic and all of these concepts. It just comes down to good characters and good stories. So hopefully they can take what they've got in that book and do it.
All right. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this? Are you excited about an Eragon relaunch on Disney Plus? Maybe you've been a fan of the book series. Maybe you've never heard of this at all. Whatever you guys' thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave those thoughts there. Hey guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, Ryan Reynolds, and specifically his delightful company, Mint Mobile. So look, after years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when I first heard that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month, I thought, what's the catch? But after talking to them and using their service, it all made sense. There isn't a catch. And guys, this is no joke. I have been using Mint Mobile for months now. And on top of the fact that I'm spending literally about 1/3 every month of what I was spending on my former major carrier, I've discovered no decline in my service. I kept my phone number and I was able to keep my phone. The switch from my old service to Mint Mobile couldn't have been easier and saved me more money. And the best part for anybody who just hates their phone bills is that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.